Hey, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here I want to talk about, okay, of course, people are returning back to whichever around the diaspora, to their countries. They're leaving Africa and returning back to their countries. Not all. Many are staying. They're working it out. They're making it work, and they're contributing and or trying to find their way, after moving. But many are finding their way back to their countries, whether it be America, Europe, wherever they're coming from. They're on their way back home. Now, it's serious in a way, because you have to know that when people make the decision to go somewhere, they're making it with this feeling that they really need to make a move, that they really need to move someplace other than where they are, or they're just ready to make a change. Now, I spoke about this in one of my other videos. The one thing about moving somewhere, you really have to go, check it out a few times before making that decision, and then make the decision that you're going to stick it out no matter what. You're going to stick it out. Just like when you're in your country, no matter what's going on there, you hang around and you make it work. You find a way to make it work, even though, However, it's a good thing that people stepped out on faith, went out there, tried to make it, and then decided, you know what, I'm going back home. There's a few things about this. Like I said before, some people are trying to run from themselves. But some people are just ready to make a change, and they're willing to try different things. And it's okay if it doesn't work out. They'll try something different and something different and something different. This is their way of exploring all that, or most of whatever they can do, discover about what life has to offer, if they're willing to make a move. So that's commendable, for anyone to step out of their comfort zone, go somewhere and try to make it, try to make it wherever they go. With that said, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about those of us who try to run from ourselves. We try to run from ourselves. Remember, I talked about how we create sagas, we participate in the creation of our reality. We participate in the creation of so many things, of what we experience in life. And so, when we go somewhere and we're not aware of that aspect of life, that we're actually participating in all that we experience, we'll go there thinking that we have absolutely nothing to do with some of the things that are happening. And it doesn't work that way. I talk about the projection and the reflection. What's inside has to come out. What's in is without, and what's out is within, or however you want to say it. As above, so below, as within, so without, and so on and so forth. All of that is true. And that which is within is creating what you will experience without. So someone will go somewhere and have this amazing experience, while someone else will follow and go somewhere and it not be so amazing. It's not the external that's happening. It's the internal that you're experiencing. It's the internal. It's what's happening inside. Now, I know, because a lot of people say, don't tell me what I'm experiencing. Don't tell me what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this stuff. It's right in front of my face. People are doing all nature of things. I'm here, and money is needed for this, and money is needed for that, and people are doing this, and people are doing that, and all kinds of narratives they created. With that said, not everyone is living in that world. Not everyone is experiencing the same exact thing. So there has to be something more to it. Yes, there's a collective. I talk about this collective things. That everyone that's on that frequency band will have similar experiences, though it's very different because it's very different worlds. Each one of us has our own world, but we will experience similar type things within our world. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you participate. You may not know the nuances of all that goes on in your life. Something higher and greater has that. Okay? And if you're connected, you will feel the guidance by the guidance from grace. Or grace's guidance. Or you'll know the next step to take. So let me just tighten it up because I'm spreading, trying to get a little bit of everything. Let me say it like this. You can't run from yourself. We can't run from ourselves. We can't run from what we are thinking and feeling inside. We cannot run from what we believe that's happening to us. We cannot run from various archetypes that we come into this world with. We cannot run from things that are etched in our psyche. Those things have to be confronted and transcended. No matter where you go in the world, no matter where you go in the world, and no matter whom you are with, things will have to be transcended. So those likely, I'm not saying everyone because we don't know everyone's condition and situation, those that are returning home for whatever reason, somewhere inside their psyche, there may have been something, a sense of fear or concern about whether or not they can sustain or make it, or perhaps they're feeling that the amenities are not there and they're used to certain amenities, But all of this stuff has to do with the energy within. What are you attracting and pulling into your life? What are you calling for? It will be similar to what you call for elsewhere, though it comes disguised in some other clothing. So for example, if someone is feeling like someone is coming and taking all of their stuff, stealing from them, chances are when they were wherever they were, they had that same sentiment, even if they didn't realize it, that someone was taking something from them, that or stealing them from them or exploiting. And so therefore, that sentiment, that rooted thing had to follow them and take and had to come to pass or materialize in some kind of way. That energy and that belief, that energy and that belief that someone is out to get them or take something from them or has taken from them or whatever. It has to show up somewhere. Even though you felt like you left, you move into a new place and it's different. A lot of internal work would have to go in, or a shift in consciousness would have to go in to making that change within, so that when you get to where you're going, things are different. Because a new environment gives you another level playing field. You don't have any reminders there. You don't have people that you know very well reminding you of who you are and who you are not, unless it's your family that's with you or the people that you bring with you. Okay? What will happen if you have not transcended those thoughts and those ideas and those feelings and convictions about what's going on with you, wherever you go, you will call forth people that will display, that will show you those things that you believe. They will have to replace the people that you left behind. So the people that you thought you left behind show up with a different face. The condition that you believe you left behind, if you haven't done the internal work, will show up in your new environment. Because it is with you. It's within your mind. And whatever's in your mind and you play with and you believe and you intentionally or unintentionally has to play out. Let me say it like this. Life takes care of life. Life knows what life needs to survive. Life knows what life needs to survive. And so might it be that when life knows what it needs, somehow it secretly asks in a vibrational way, in a vibratory way. And what happens is that which is believed needed, or that which is needed, comes into your space. And depending on how conscious you are, you would be aware, you would know that it's there, it's sitting for you, that you called it and it came. Somehow it showed up. You don't know how you called it, but it's there. Okay? It's almost like how we're on the internet searching things, and now you got this AI knowing more about us than we know about ourselves. And then the moment we think we want something, it shows up. It shows up online somewhere. It's more than just this. It's more than just this. It's the same as thinking about someone and then they call. Thinking you need something or you want something, and then all of a sudden it show up where you can order it. Right? Okay. Might it be when nature calls, in most cases, unless it's time to be changed, when the trees thirst, might it rain? Like now, the thunder in the background. Might they send out a signal for rain? And then it rains. And all of nature drinks, right? Might it be that? When you travel someplace, whatever the psyche, whatever the psyche needs to transcend, it will call it forth. Doesn't matter where you are. I know I repeat it. Okay? It will send forth that. And so you will send out the signal to certain things. And if you have not, remember I told you about the loop? If you've not transcended or broke that cycle of thinking and being a certain way, then wherever you go, that loop will continue. It will continue. And it will give you what you are signaling vibrationally. Africa is a place that is calling many of us back home. Though the places we were there thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So that is our home also. It is our home as well. But think of Mother Africa as the mainland. Okay? So even in your journey there, hopefully you transcended some things. And so even if you traverse back home, You have broken the cycle of something. But remember, there will always be something more. That's just one. There's always something more. They call this enlightenment. Enlightenment is never ending. There's always something else to be unveiled or revealed to you, or an asking that comes from within that is calling, life calling what it needs to take care of itself. Right? So more on this later. I just wanted to say a quick word. People are coming back. I don't know if they went to Nigeria, Senegal, Ghana, Gambia, South Africa, Tanzania. Oh man, there's so many countries. I don't know if it's 53, 54. I don't know how many countries, but they've gone, checked it out, and then they decided to return. But let me tell you another thing. But within here, know all is well. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Much love. Namaste.